to then. You want the headphones for the team? I got plenty of them.
The night moves slowly, but the fire's gone cold. A loved one's golden, now losing its hold.
Cut my music. I love when I do that. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. It is a Studio W Sports page brought to you by J&J. I am your host, your main man, Mill, and Ride Shotgun with me as always to my left, Mr. Kevin Two Plays Harris, and to my right, whoo, hey, ha, five, two, Mr. Romar 5-2, and we got some special guests in the building. We got Mr. Miak himself, Mr. James Sparrow in the building, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us. And also the legendary two-time NBA champion joining with us. It is a pleasure and an honor to spend the afternoon with us, Mr. Bob Mcadoo. Thank you, gentlemen. How are you guys?
Boom!
You left one part. A Hall of Famer, Bob Mcadoo.
Boom!
Gentlemen, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine.
How you doing, Mr. McAdoo?
I'm doing great. I'm upright and I'm alive. I'm happy and everything's great.
It's a pleasure to meet you in the interview.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And also, we got the boxing guru joining us, Mr. Mark Daniels. Mark, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Blessed to be on the show today. This is a monumental day for me.
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you so much. Now, Mr. Sparrow, Mr. McAdoo, you are honored guests. We are here to let you guys cook a little bit. We got some questions for you. I'm gonna pass the mic around. We got some questions we just love to just ask you guys about, about anything, mainly basketball, but mainly anything. We get off the rails sometimes here. Well, more times than often. So we're gonna have a lot of fun. But first, we're gonna talk basketball and everything of that nature, but on this show, I'm gonna get Mr. Mark Daniels the floor real quick because I think he got some questions that I want to ask you, but I want to let him do it because, well, you'll see how this is gonna go. You can see how this is gonna go. Hey, Mark, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing well. Yeah, this is an honor. As you can see today, I got on my Buffalo Braves.
Boom!
Yes.
I mean, this is truly an honor. I can remember. I mean, as a little kid growing up, and that was the man I knew. I mean, I'd sat, and back then we didn't have the cable like they have it now. So, I would get the newspaper from my grandma every morning. I remember. I actually got in paddling behind it because I got the sports page, went to school. I'm sneaking in and reading this article. I'm trying to see what Bob McAdoo did. Yeah. Teacher asked me to read something. I was totally lost. I'm like, oh man, I'm in trouble. Got a paddling, sent home a note to my mom saying this young man think he's Bob McAdoo. He read on him every day, the whole 9 yards. My mom looked at it. She said, was it worth getting that paddling? I said, yeah, as long as I can see what he did last night, yeah, it was worth it. She said, I don't know what your dad gonna say when he get home. My dad got home, told my mom. My dad said, well, I ain't gonna lie, that's a bad man. And I mean, it's truly an honor. I mean, I follow you since I was 8 years old. Now I can remember the Buffalo Braves team.
Thank you.
I mean, when you guys had Kenny Charles and Jim McMillan, Jack Ramsey was your coach. You had to, a lot of people don't give this man a lot of credit, but he was great. Randy Smith.
Yeah.
I remember he even had a song about you one time.
Oh yeah. And, I remember.
Then when you arrived out in LA and that was the pinnacle. I've been a Lakers fan forever, but that was the pinnacle for me in 1982. You guys beat Philadelphia. You played a pivotal role in that first title.
Yeah.
And I can remember my mom saying, "I know you happy they won, but I know you more excited Bob McAdoo got a ring." And I'll be
Yep.
honest,
Yep.
this was the first jersey as far as collecting jerseys that I'd ever had. And
Yeah.
I mean,
Boo!
I mean,
Boo!
so for me, it's just an honor being able to actually be on this platform with you. I'm still a little lost for words. I know everybody else got questions, but I definitely had to give a shout out to you and let you know how
Thank you.
prominent as a young man you were in my life.
Thank you. Thank you.
When it
Thank you.
came
I'm
to
glad
this.
glad I made an impact. Glad
Oh,
I made an impact.
you definitely did.
Yeah. So
One question I have is if I believe I'm right. I know you went to University of North Carolina, but you were also, as I recall, you were the first player to come out of University of North Carolina and declare for the NBA draft early. Am I correct
yeah, you're correct. You're correct.
with that?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they, back then that didn't happen that often. But you made a statement there in a short period of time, and coming to the NBA, I mean, you came in there on fire, and led the league in scoring, rebounding, MVP. The only nemesis you had at that time, I believe, probably was Boston. And people would ask me today to compare who you're being compared to, and the closest person. And I still don't think he could have done anything with you. I felt like your game, Kevin Durant's game, was more like yours than any player I've seen. Late, the only difference was he wasn't the rebounder you were.
Right.
Would you
Right.
say
He
that
he he def he
kind of
definitely
close as far as comparison to player of today's game?
he definitely reminds me of me. I remember when I was coaching with the Heat, and we first played when he was with OKC. He came over to me in the warm-ups, and he shook my hand, Mr. McAdoo. I watched you when I was young, and he told me he tried to pattern his game after me. But I love watching him play because he's a stretch four and stretch three and stretch four. I was a stretch four, stretch five, and he's got the same shot with the arms over the head and everything. He's just a pleasure to watch, and he's one of the few guys, that I kind of look at. It's like I'm looking at myself when I watch him play.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I've always said I've never, in watching you, I said, God, this is a once in a lifetime type player. And Kevin Durant came along. I said, this is the closest I've seen to Bob McAdoo. I mean, this period. It was close as I've seen. The only thing different, they always listed Kevin Durant at 6'9". I've always told people he's probably 7 feet. It just looked like he's too long. I'm like, this dude can't be 6'9". I mean, I've been around people 6'9". Will you kind of say that's legitimate that he's taller than that?
I think he's closer to 6'10", 6'11". He's not quite 7. The guys that were bigger that were shooting, I think Kevin Garnett and Dirk Nowitzki probably were inch or two taller than me, and then taller than Kevin.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Mill, you want to pass it around?
How yet? On 5-2?
Mr. McAdoo,
Yes.
as Mark said that you entered the draft early. What was your mindset on declaring and being the first player in North Carolina history to declare early in the draft?
Well, once I started, I kind of knew I could play pro ball after I left JUCO. When I made the Pan American team, and we played the Atlanta Hawks, and I think I had 32 points on them, and I was, just finishing my sophomore year, and my homeboy Lou Hudson, who was a veteran, he came up to me and he asked me would I consider leaving. He thought I would probably be in the teens or 20s, and if I got drafted, but I wasn't thinking about that. But when I got to North Carolina, everything started going right, and we got to the Final Four and you started hearing stuff that I would possibly be a lottery pick. And that's when I started entertaining it. But I think one of the things that kind of drove me was in the Pan American Games, I fractured my ankle. And, when I got to Carolina, I was limping for about the quarter of the year. They didn't cast it up, but I got well because I was young. I was 19 and 20.
Yeah,
But,
folks feel differently then.
Yeah, I didn't. I started saying to myself, I don't know if I want to chance it. If I'm going to be a lottery pick 1 or 2, why would I go back to school and get hurt?
Okay.
And then my family dilemma came up. My mother, who was a school teacher, she just came right out and said, "No, you're not leaving. You're gonna get your degree." And this is the living room, sister, father, mother, and my father he did a matumbo. He did his finger. He said, "Come here, boy." he took me back to the back room, and he was a custodian over at A&T. And he showed me his check stub where for the year he made $10,000. And he said, "You're going to make what?" Now, you guys don't laugh because you see these salaries these guys are making now.
Yeah.
But the salary that I was going to make was, it was a hefty salary for 1972. I was going to get, the first year I was going to get $100,000.
I would have took that.
Yeah, that's what my father said. He said, and I saw it. He said, "Boy, it'll take me 10 years to make $100,000.
But you ready to get in a year.
You better get your ass out of here." And that kind of pushed me over the edge. Now, my mother was pissed at me for the majority of the year until I came back after the season and redid her kitchen and everything, and it kind of smoothed everything out. Yeah.
And also, like, what was that conversation like with Dean Smith?
Dean is the one that first told me. He said, "Look, Bob, if they offer you a contract where you're making $100,000 a year, I would take that myself." I had Dean Smith's blessing. The problem with that is nobody knew what Dean was thinking because Dean never said anything. He said it to me in private. And believe me, once I made my decision that I wasn't going back to North Carolina, let me tell you, I caught hell for that.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, I smoothed the way for James Worthy, Michael Jordan, all these guys that came after me.
Exactly.
Because they didn't catch the hell. When you're the first one, you always catch hell. I didn't even know if I was even going to be able to go back to the state of North Carolina, the summertime, because people were so pissed I left because I was one of probably 3. I think Howard Porter, Jim McDaniels, those guys left early. And, people kind of frowned on that. And, I was a young player and I'm thinking at the time, I'm 19, 20. I'm like, why are people such against, you making a living and helping your family? Bird's from Greensboro. He saw where I grew up. I mean, I didn't grow up in no ghetto. I mean, we had a ranch style brick house because my father was a construction guy and he built a house. I mean, we were a solid middle class black family back in Greensboro. But I just wanted more, I mean, I didn't have all through school, I didn't have a car to drive. I mean, it's different now. You got the NIL money, these guys making millions of dollars. I mean, if they gave you, and Bird can tell you from A&T, if a coach or alumni gave you $10 to go to a movie, they would declare you ineligible. I mean, the rules at that time were just so restricting for players. And, we would see all the people in the stands. We didn't play in the Dean Dome then. We played in Carmichael, which held about 9,000 people. It was packed every game. And we couldn't get $10 to go to a movie. Are you kidding me? that was one of the
Did you ever go
decisions.
back on campus and play against Worthy and Jordan and them during the summertime and stuff?
Yeah, during the summer. Yeah, that's how I met James, Walter Davis, Jordan. I'd always go back.
They say
in the
James
summer,
was a bad
you know.
man.
Yeah, I'd go back in the summer and play against these guys. And
Was Sam Perkins really like that?
what's that?
Was Sam Perkins like that?
Like what?
Was he a night? Because he was a baller at North Carolina too.
Yeah, he was. You know, he wasn't on the level of Walter Davis and Jordan and myself. But you know, he was. You know, he was long, lean, could shoot from the outside. And I mean, when I wasn't in Chapel Hill, you know, I'd run into this guy that's on the camera right now, Bird, over there, over there A&T. He was over there. He was spanking everybody over there at A&T, you know. And you know, that's when I first ran into Bird over at A&T because I'd play with the guys. I had my summer league. We'd be down in Bimbo Park. We'd be over at A&T. We played at various places, you know, in Greensboro. That's how, you know, basketball is a small community. You just run into everybody.